Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday, YouTube, happy Monday, Instagram, happy Monday, rolling out. Come on in for another edition of Reality Check. You guys know we are counting down. We are finished with Ready to Love Dallas. Thank God. Thank God we are we are done with Ready to Love Dallas, and we are with Ready to Love Make a Move. We have our first guest for this season here to YouTube and rolling out is our girl Ashlee. And I am super excited about this conversation. Hey to the chat. I'm going to make sure that you guys can hear me. Ashlee's getting ready to join. Make sure that you drop an XO in the chat if you can hear me, so I can make sure that the sound is good. And we're going to show our girl some love once she jumps on here. I want to talk to her about, I think we're talking about the first 4 episodes of Ready to Love, Make a Move. There's a lot of questions I'm sure everybody has. And so we are going to welcome Ashlee, hear her experience. One of the things that I love about Ashlee is that she's just so bubbly. She is such a bubbly personality. Thank you guys for those X's and O's. In theory, too, Katie Rollins, Lady Day, Felicia, hey, Sunny Rain. Thank you guys so much. Our girl Ashlee is getting ready to join us. So I appreciate you all letting me know that you can hear. If you have not subscribed to this channel, this would be a great time. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure that you like and share this conversation so that people can hear what Ashlee has to say from her own mouth. I love doing these interviews because, like we say, when you come on here, we get a chance to actually hear without the edit, right? I don't edit the videos. The only thing that we edit is sometimes if I play a video from the show, we sometimes may edit it so that we don't, YouTube doesn't tag us, but I let the conversation be the conversation so that we get a chance to hear from the talent and the host in their own, the talent from the show in their own words, right? So we have Ashlee that's going to be joining us tonight. I'm not going to lie. I really want, I want to get all 4 of the ladies, I think, have a unique perspective. And what I love about this season is that OWN picked women that are very different. Which means, hey, Kashay, thank you so much. Thank you, Cherry Redhead Poppin'. I'm looking, these women all have different issues. And so when all of us are watching this show, everybody, I'm sure, can relate. Hey, Mimi, everybody can relate to someone on the show. Everybody can relate, even if that's not you today. That may have been how you handled dating in the past. And so I think this is a great learning experience for all you ladies, all the people out there, men and women. So without further ado, I'm going to bring the lady of the hour on in. We got my girl, Ashlee.
Hey. Look, I'm not technical, so I had a couple of hiccups before I got in here. But
It's all good. It's all good. You know what? Can you turn can you turn the phone to the side so we can, there we go. Yes. Perfect.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
That's
Yeah,
okay. You take your time. I want you to take your time so we can get into the conversation. Good. Hey, Keisha in love. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, you 703. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mimi and everybody for joining. Good to see you guys tonight. We're letting Ash. There she is. There she is. Okay. All right. So first of all, welcome back, Ashlee. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
The chat is here for you. The chat is here, and everybody is really excited about having you here. The first thing I want to ask you is we got a chance to get to know you on the very first season of Ready to Love. Now, a lot of people say that that's their favorite season. So many people say that first season was the best season because it was pure. Nobody really knew what to expect. We saw you guys go through a journey and be really authentic about what was happening in real time. So, can
Yeah.
you tell us a little bit about just what you learned from that experience and where you been, girl? What you been doing since we saw you already to love the first season?
Okay. Well, from the experience, I learned to trust my gut. Um, Other than that, it was just an eye opener. It was something new. I had never been on a platform to be on television
Mhm.
like that before. I met so many great individuals who were so influential in my life. The friendships and just the love was just overflowing. And really, I just learned how to just be myself and be accepting, whether people like you or not. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I truly followed my heart and I tried to trust my instincts. Um, but other than that, I just learned how to grow up a little bit. I learned how to grow up a little bit, but still be myself. Being around adults who were older than me and who were still experiencing the same thing, kind of made me feel a little bit more comfortable being around people still saying, okay, well, it's not too late for me.
Yeah.
Don't give up yet. Don't settle. Make sure you assess and do some recon and understand who you're dealing with and understand family because all of that plays a part in a healthy relationship. So, I mean,
Right.
I just learned a lot from everyone, including my own personal journey. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know what the second part of your question was.
No, that's good because I think that you said you learned to trust your instincts, but I think and I had to get to where life. I had to live a little bit, as my grandmother would say. My grandmother would always say, "Keep laying down and getting up," and I would be like, "What does that even mean?" And then when I got older, I was like, "Oh." She means exactly what she had said. Like she was like, keep laying down and getting up, and you'll learn something. And so you
Definitely.
do. But what I learned is that I grew up trying so hard not to get played, right? And I would try to be the smart one. I'd be like, I could be the ugly bee, I could be the fat bee, whatever you want to call me, but you ain't never gonna call me the stupid. You're not
Hello.
gonna call me the dumb one. But you know what? I realized I learned later, like if I have pure intentions and you don't, and then that's on you.
Please believe me. Please believe me.
If I'm being a good person and my heart is pure and you fumble that, you're going to regret that. I'm who I am. I don't come out of character. So for that situation on the first season with you, I feel like you were being yourself, you were being authentic, you were being the type of woman that is really concerned and nurturing for someone that they care about. And then for him not to be on that, that's on him. That's really not on you. You feel me?
There's still 5 years later, like I see a lot of comments like, "Oh, she's not healed." It's not that I'm not healed. The shit still hurts.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, everybody has that one situation or something that was traumatic in your life, and people might think, "Oh, it's not traumatic." It's traumatic to me because I showed the entire world
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Yeah.
Versus, I didn't get to deal with this in private, even though it didn't happen on camera. The world knew he was in the hospital. The world knew what I was trying. I never got to do anything, and no one ever asked me, "Are you okay?" Every
Yeah.
interview was about how was he doing. Not one person was really focused on my mental, my physical, my emotional. And so what you're seeing now is a lot of me just getting a chance to have a voice
Yeah.
when I didn't have one because
Yeah.
it wasn't fair to me. But I have to be the bigger person and be an adult and understand that my prayers and me being vocal about letting the world pray for him and his healing, that was more important than my personal feelings at the time. So now that's why you see a different version of me because at
Right.
first I put everyone before me. This time it's not happening like that.
Well, we see that. We see that. I want to talk a little bit about we're gonna wrap that up with him. He was unfortunate. And especially when somebody is there for you when you're at your lowest and you don't respect that. I feel like God have mercy on that person because that karma is coming back. So, we're gonna let that do what it does. But in between then and now, what have you been up to? What has dating been like after coming off of a television show where I'm sure people wanted to know when you were out, people wanted to know what happened, but then I'm sure guys were trying to holler like, what has that been like?
It's been a roller coaster. I've had the little 90-day situations. where I'm trying to see if it's gonna work past that, and if it didn't work, I'm just out like a light. I really, it's just been up and down. I have kind of, I'm not gonna say a zero tolerance, but if I see some red flags, I just exit stage left. So I really haven't been putting a lot of effort into things where I'm already seeing it's damned from the gate. Um, I'm meeting a lot of people who aren't physically or mentally ready for something for real.
Mm-hmm.
They want to just have fun. You want to go out. You want to travel. I want to be able to tolerate and be with someone forever. So when I'm dating with a purpose. I'm no longer dating to just be dating. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people already have a lot of baggage. And here I come, empty nester, nothing going on, but just me living my life and recreating myself every chance I get. So,
Yeah.
my life is different from other people. So just trying to find someone that matches my energy, matches my lifestyle. I've dated all types.
Okay.
From really high on the ladder to really low on the ladder. I really don't discriminate. I'm open with age. Um, it's just I have to wait for my person, and I do not waste other people's time.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have met some very good quality men who are ready to marry, who are ready to do everything, but the energy of the chemistry just wasn't there. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be that woman that's just marrying just to marry, or just doing
Yes.
something just to make it fit, or just because the world thinks it's time for me now. I'm willing to wait however long it may be, but I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
keep getting my stuff together in the process. But I
Right.
refuse to just break anyone's heart. I don't want to do
Yeah.
that anymore. Yeah. So I'm
I
just
love that.
kind of been in limbo, up and
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
So
that's that. But I love the fact that you still have a sweetheart and that you don't want to hurt someone else. And I think that I believe that people like that, at the end of the day, you lay down and sleep without issue. You don't feel like you took advantage of anybody, and that's always going to come back. Now, I do want to ask you this. Let's talk about, like, what is it that you want? Because I think that every woman wants something different, and it's okay for your desires not to be the same as someone else. But I think it's really important for us to know, as a woman, to know what we want. So what does Ashlee's end of the road look like? Like, what type of relationship do you want? What type of marriage do you want? What type of man do you feel like is best suited for you? Because after dating, and definitely after going on a reality show and seeing all these different things, I'm sure you kind of got a crash course in what works for you and what does not. So what type of dynamic are you looking for in a relationship to be your last relationship?
I've said this since 2018. I said I'm looking for my man, not everyone's man. I'm looking
Mhm.
for someone who is looking for me. I'm looking for my forever best friend. I'm not looking for a partner. I'm not looking for a business partner. I'm not looking for a roommate. I'm
Mhm.
looking for someone that it's a Sunday afternoon and it's complete silence. He might be on his phone or reading the newspaper, and I might be working on some homework for school or something like that, but the energy and the love is there. I want to cook. I want to have fun. I want to create memories. I want the real thing. I saw my mother and my stepfather have it, and I want that. I
Mhm.
want a true family. I want that sense of it's just hard. Like I'm ready to honor my husband and I want my husband to honor me.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna stop until I get it. I believe in real love. I don't have a specific stature of what I want him to look like. I
Mhm.
don't have the picket fence and all of that because the love can be anywhere we are. I
Mhm.
just know whoever I'm with, I want to be centered on truth. I
Mhm.
want to be centered on love, centered on faith. I don't want anything to waste my time, and I don't want to waste his, but I want to spend every freaking effing minute creating memories. And
What do,
so
what do you need from him? What do you need from him? Because different women need different things. Some women need money. Some women need somebody that has a lot of time. Some women want someone that makes them feel protected physically. Others need someone that is very, like, clingy. Like, what do you need from your person?
what I need from my person, honestly, is honesty and loyalty. The finances can come together. Everything else can come together. Um, all of that is room for work. But that honesty and the loyalty is something that I have to require. Me being a military kid, that's just big for me. You
Mm-hmm.
can't show up. You can't have those two without it. Those two really contribute to everything else in a relationship. If you're not
Mm-hmm.
honest, and if you're not loyal, and you're not dedicated, you're not in it to win it and to make it work. Those are my biggest factors.
Okay.
Everything else can fall into place.
Well, that's good. Usually I tell women they got to cut down their list, but yours is pretty short. So that that is better, but I think it's important to be specific. Does loyalty translate to you to monogamy?
Definitely.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not in this to swap saliva or bodily fluids with anyone else but my own.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that because some people have a different definition of loyalty. So I want to just make sure we added some clarity so we know what you're talking about. Have you been in a relationship as of yet that you like? If you look back on it, you could say this was probably the best thing about the closest thing I've had to my forever relationship, and this is why.
I hate even bringing this up. You get on my nerves for asking me this. Oh my God. Okay, so I did have a college sweetheart.
Okay.
I dated for 6 years. Um, that was the closest that I got to my forever because of our family ties, everyone in school. He
Hmm.
was there from the death of my father and my grandmother, like all my senior year in college. We spent an insanely amount of time together. So it was that was the next stage in our life.
Okay.
School, marriage, family. Like I'm from the South, so that's really what we do. You go to college, get your degree, find you a husband, settle down. It is what it is. I never meant to be single this long. But I enjoy life so much that I
Yeah.
think that I played a part in that because I knew I wanted to chase my dreams and I wasn't ready to settle down and just
Okay.
become the wife. I felt like it was so much more to Ashley than just
Hmm.
being someone's wife. And so he understood that, but that was the closest relationship to where I was genuinely ready, or I thought I was genuinely ready, because
Hmm.
that's what I was used to.
Okay.
And I really cared about the man a lot.
And did he treat you the way you wanted to be treated? That's the good.
Southern guy, we could fall asleep outside on the bed of his truck watching the stars. Open the doors, very nice to my mother and my brothers. I'm big on family. So he
Hmm.
was just the perfect guy. I'm not even gonna lie. He
Okay.
just was a little slow when it came to the maturity and the taking care of and the providing. But I mean, we're fresh out of college. What
Yeah,
do you
yeah. That's
expect?
that's and that's one thing I want to say. We have to be realistic. We have to know that
Yeah, I'm like, we're fresh out of college, so I got it.
he
I
doing the best he
understood.
can. He trying to doing the best he can. I have
You
to ask,
still living
Ashley,
my free bud.
is he already booed up? Is he out of the? Is there any possibility? People in the chat are asking, is he no longer a viable? Is the college boo no longer a viable option?
Y'all, we gonna let that go. What I have to learn, I have to leave my past in the past.
Okay.
I learned from my past. You might hear me
Yeah.
bring it up, but we're
It
not
could be
gonna
a
bring them
good
back.
no, but it could be a good barometer because I know for me, because I was married before, and I could say I know what how I need to be treated. I don't want to go back, but I do know how I should be treated. So that gave me everything as a learning lesson, and everything doesn't have to
Yes,
be a negative, a negative
yes,
lesson.
yes.
So okay, so let's move on up to make a move. Now, you're in Atlanta, you're dating, and then you get an opportunity to go to New Orleans and find a boo there. What is going on in your head? Because I do know that people say the dating pool in Atlanta has pee in it. I've heard that. I was in the dating pool. I probably ran into some pee. I hated dating in Atlanta. But
Woo, child flips hell.
but but I would just like, what is going on in your head when they say, okay, come to New Orleans and take a chance on love there? Are you open? I mean, you're young. You are you open to uprooting and moving to at least when you first got the opportunity? What are you thinking?
Okay, first let me give you the setting. I'm at
Okay.
the house. It's a Friday
Okay.
night. It's my birthday, March 17th. I get a phone call, and it's from California, and they're talking about the show, and I'm like, Lord, it's my birthday. Is this how you gonna bless me? Let's just go with it. You know I'm single. Shit ain't been working, so you know what? We gonna jump off the porch again. But this time we're gonna jump off the porch with all my helmet, elbow covers, knee covers, all of that. Ain't no more skin in my knees this time. So I really just shot my shot. I just said, you know what? This time, see through the BS. Understand you are going on reality TV, little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are looking for their 15 minutes. Some people are actually genuinely looking for love. Be
Right.
able to tell the difference between the two and give them what they want, and which is
Now let me ask
television.
you this because I say all the time on this channel because I've interviewed pretty much most of the guys from Ready to Love and the women, and I would say out of the men, a very small percentage of guys are actually there to find love because, and this is why I don't think it's because men are full of shit, full of it. I think it's because men don't necessarily look at falling in love as something that's as a romantic idea as women do. Like we look at The Bachelor or something like that, and it's like, oh, I could fall in love. Men are not sitting around thinking, oh, I could fall in love with a woman on
Right.
TV. They're more realistic when it comes to relationships, and we kind of have our head in the clouds. So I could say I love Married at First Sight, like, oh, you could go to the altar, but I just think men don't approach it that way. I don't think there's anything wrong with the way they approach it. It's just very different. So how would you think you could tell the difference between a guy that really is there with the possibility of love, or someone that's just there for their, to promote their brand or to get their shine?
One thing I do agree with you, being that I'm hearing it from personal experience when I talk to the guys. Like, yo, I didn't
Mhm.
know it was gonna be like this. I wasn't prepared for this. Like, y'all are more invested. Like, nobody told me I was really supposed to take it serious. It's a lot of lack of information. Like, we might hear one thing and then they don't hear anything until they pull up. So,
Right.
it's crazy how it's, displayed to you guys because you're just seeing it as if that's how it's supposed to go. But half of the
Mhm.
time they didn't know anything until they were walking through the doors. So,
Yeah.
I get that, but at the end of the day, I always go back to we are adults, consenting adults who actually filled out a contract. You are supposed to read your fine print and you do research before you start any type of job. You go Google the company, you go Google what they do, what type of resources, what they provide, etc., and so on and so forth. So to
Mhm.
come on this platform and still not be prepared when we've given you a packet that explains everything that you have in front of you and what to expect is absurd to me. It's a
Okay.
waste of my time and the networks because you already know it's a daily show. Regardless of how you move in everyday life, this is a situation to where this is not everyday life. So,
Mhm.
just kind
Mhm.
of dot your I's and cross your T's if the women are
Right.
doing as such. You know what I mean? Just meet us halfway. That's all.
Meet us halfway. That does not often happen even in real life, let alone let alone TV, reality TV. So you guys get there. They paired everybody from different cities, which is cool. Um, the first person that we see, you guys get a chance to pick based on the look of the guys you first meet. You connected with Donald. Now, what I what I love about you is you are very open and very honest about complimenting guys. Some girls sit back and wait for the guy to compliment them, but you
But
go in. You let them have it. So what was it about? Because you don't have a physical type, but Ashlee, it looked like Donald was your physical type, whatever that is. The way you was looking
I
at
like
Donald,
men,
it looked,
Crystal. I like men, all of them. Black,
okay,
brown, orange. Yeah, I like boys, okay? It don't matter what nationality. I like y'all. All of y'all. I promise.
I'm
So
not
I
mad.
was
You're
looking at everybody. But you said I could only pick one, so I had to narrow that down. And I'm like, I'm gonna get who looking at me.
okay. I was like, what was it? What made Donald get picked. He was looking at you.
He was sweating and looking nervous, and I like to break the ice. At
Mm-hmm.
this point, this is a first of all blind encounter. I'm not about to ask you what are your relationship values and all of that. We're gonna just keep it basic, surface level. Let's break the ice like you do when you start class. You break the
Mm-hmm.
ice and make a person feel comfortable. I saw that he was a little nervous. His hands kept going in and out of his pockets, feet moving, kept adjusting his suit. I'm like, come here, boy, let's talk. Cause I promise don't be scared of us. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fun, relax. But yeah, I just wanted to break the ice with him because he was super sweet looking. He
Yeah.
was cute.
He was
I
cute.
love his
He
bald
was
head
cute.
too.
But I usually think that when guys are nervous, it's a good sign because that means like if they too player and too smooth, it feels not authentic to me. I could be wrong. You guys can let me know in the chat. But whenever there's one that's too smooth and always has exactly the right words to say, I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? So somebody that is a little nervous feels more genuine. Let's talk to us about what happened when you guys talked because it looked the way you guys were looking at each other was super cute. And I was like, oh, they really, really like each other. So how was that first conversation once you got him to calm down and stop sweating?
I wish y'all would have seen the full combo. Everything y'all are seeing, they're just jumping straight into my most funniest parts or my most traumatic, dramatic parts. But
Okay.
it was just simple, just breaking the ice, names. What do you do? What's your type? Are you nervous? What
Hmm.
did you expect when you walked through the gates? Just really just simple going back and forth convo. Purely innocent. Of course, he told me what I wanted to hear. So those were a couple of brownie points, but also triggers. Like, don't say that when I have three other women standing beside me. Oh, you're my type. You never know how this is gonna go, sir. This is our game right now, so I can send you off and push you to somebody else in a minute. I just
Hmm.
wanted him to open up and be comfortable, and we were just laughing and having a good time. We actually forgot the cameras were rolling. We were having so much fun and laughing, knee slapping. So it was fun.
Okay. Now you said that they just jump right in because you do seem very bubbly. I mean, I know you have a bubbly personality, but you do seem bubbly all the time. Do you feel like the cameras are only showing when you're on 10 or are you on 10 all the time?
I mean, I'm on 10 a lot, but
Okay.
I'm not like, so, blah, 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 blah. They giving me Ace Ventura vibes, but cool. Go ahead and set me up for the movie screen because that is my next stage in life. I want to be an actress. So you will see emotional, you will see loud, you will see all of that with Ashlee. I mean, it is what it is. If you meet me in real life, I am a lot. I do this. I use my hands, talk with my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I move. That's how I talk, but it's not always as dramatic as it seems. But shout out to the production team for that.
Well, they're pulling what makes you guys different, right?
I'm big old different compared to everybody else.
Well, I think everybody is different. Definitely, everybody has their thing that production is focusing on, right? And usually people don't like what production focuses on, but it usually is the thing that stands out most about you, right? So for you, I would say, Ashlee, you have I think the most beautiful smile on
Thank
television.
you.
Like you have a gorgeous smile. You're just a
Thank you,
beautiful girl,
Crystal. I
but you're
appreciate it.
always so positive. And that's a good thing. Like I would much rather, be seen as the bubbly positive person than some of the other things that are happening with your castmates. Well, we're not going to talk about that right now. We may come back to that later. So you and Donald go out. You decide to keep him through the first elimination.
Yeah.
What are you guys conversations like? Because it seems like you and Donald and Vernisha and Jabari were the ones that really seem to like their keepers, right? So what's happening when we don't see the camera? Are you guys talking? Are you enjoying his personality? Like what's happening that we don't see?
Really, we're still breaking the ice. We're just texting, writing on Instagram. Really just kind of getting to know. He's looking at my page, I'm looking at his. We're just asking all the questions about siblings and
Mhm.
morals and values and things like that. It was real simple. It was easy. It
Hmm.
wasn't forced. I didn't have to pull any teeth when I asked questions. He was really accepting and forward with giving me information and so forth. So I was actually looking forward to getting to know him more because he was so honest.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So you guys were talking, and you got back around to another date, and you told him that you hadn't heard from him. Now, before that, how long have you guys been talking? Had he been consistent and stopped? What happened to cause you to say, "Hey, what's up?"
It was consistent. We were talking for a while, like they at least once or twice during the day, just to let each other know that we're all right. And then it was 2 days where I was trying to text him. I even texted him in front of the girls with no response. And
Okay.
so I'm like, what's going on? Maybe he's busy. I don't want to overstep, or maybe he doesn't like me. So let's not do too much. We'll see. But I really have never dealt with no response, nothing. And then for a
Mhm.
man to like not call at all, like if you see me texting, like is everything okay and you're not responding, I was scared to call because I'm like, I don't really want the rejection right now. It's a little early, but it is what it is. And when
Mhm.
I seen him again, it was like, hey, what's up,
Mhm.
Ash? I miss you. How, Slay? I haven't heard from you, and I got embarrassed in front of my friends texting you, and I didn't get a response.
Mhm.
Like I brought it to Tamika, I brought it up to everyone, and it's just like in this process with Tamika bringing blind dates weekly and not daily.
Mhm.
I don't have the luxury of time to wait on you for 2 days.
Right.
I have to go on another date. So
What?
it wasn't that I'm pressing him about not just calling. The communication was the issue, but it's you're putting me in a weird position because I got to keep moving. I don't know. Do I keep you around or do I go ahead and move forward with this new blind date?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my process. Like I would normally just stick with Donald and not went on any other date.
Mm.
So it was like, all right, I have to do what's best for me in this process at this time. And being
Mhm.
that the communication wasn't there, if you're doing this early, I'm afraid of what you're gonna do later.
Okay.
I
Let
feel
me
like
ask you a couple questions. Couple questions in there. First off, what did Tamika say when you brought it up to her? What
she
was
was
her
like, okay,
response?
try to reach out again. And
Okay.
then when I reached out again and it happened again, she was like, oh, we'll give him
Okay.
time. He's probably, he does photography and everybody has jobs. So I didn't know what he was doing outside of filming. So, I'm trying to be respectful of his time, knowing that I'm working 12 to
Mm.
14-hour days.
Okay.
So, I'm like, let's be respectful. Let's not do too much. I reached out again, and I reached out again. It's only so much reaching out I'm going to do.
Okay. So did when we saw you, I like the fact that you said, I want to deal with this, but I don't want to mess up the date. I was like, that is a teachable moment for women because I think that we have to, when we operate, we lead with our emotions, you make mistakes. So I like the fact that you were not so thrown off that you couldn't just enjoy the date and make it miserable for everybody else. Because a lot of women would have definitely made it miserable for everybody else. But did he show you in his phone where he had tried to text you?
He showed me his phone, girl. The texts were there. And I showed him on my phone. I never received not one. So my thing is, if I'm talking to you on Instagram, if I'm talking to you on WhatsApp and all of this, why you just didn't reach out on those apps? Like I tried to reach out to you, and something is going on with our phones with text. And
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always the woman and the person in any relationship who keeps the communication going, who
Mhm.
does the checking in and the checking on, and I'm always the welfare check girl. And I'm always worried about everybody, but Crystal, it's time for somebody to worry about me.
Yeah.
And if I plan on choosing a man, I damn sure it's not. I'm not choosing no one who can't even call me in 2 days. And if that's a lot for some people, I'm sorry, baby, you're not me. I have
Mhm.
always been there for everyone else. So if I'm trying all of these methods to reach out to you, and you don't even think to pick up the phone and call not once,
Okay, let me just play devil's advocate, Ashley. I have to ask you this. So,
man,
all
do it.
right,
I
he
didn't know what
tried
to
to
do.
he tried to text you, right? You try to text him. He probably is thinking you're not texting him back, right? Because he probably didn't get your text. Do y'all have different types of phones?
He has an Android.
And you have an iPhone.
Yeah, he has an Android.
Okay. All right. So I got one of my besties. She has both of my besties have Androids, and occasionally there are communication issues. I just want to ask you, if he texts you and you don't respond to him, and you text him and he doesn't respond to you, and you don't call him because you don't want to feel rejected, is it possible that maybe he didn't call you because you're on the show, it is, the ball is in your court. Maybe he didn't want to feel rejected too.
I put all of that into consideration, but Crystal, I chose you. I'm on a chopping block on this show. The luxury of time is not normal dating. So
Yeah.
we can say all this till we blew in the face, but at the end of the day, this situation is a little sensitive
Yeah.
because we're on a dating show. In
Hmm.
everyday life, baby, that's water under the bridge. But right now, a no call and no show gets you fired.
Okay. Okay.
That's just I don't know what to.
No, I mean
I'm not I'm not
that's
doing the chasing anymore. This isn't a
right.
show where the guys eliminating the women and all of that. The ball is in my court.
Right.
And
Right.
Tanika made that very clear.
So
So
you just felt like
I'm
you felt like he didn't put enough effort into reaching out.
um if you had anything going on, you have an event you're going to, you're gonna be late. You texting the girl that's running the event, she doesn't respond. Are you gonna call her? Or you just gonna get there when you get there?
Yeah, that I mean, absolutely. I'm just saying. I wonder if the same reason that you didn't call him, he might not have called. Maybe,
I give him that, but
but I mean, but then too, sometimes for me, like I like the guy to be more the pursuer, right?
me
So
too.
that,
I'm tired of always being in control.
but
That's
let me say this. Let me say this, Ashley. Though this is just from big sister to little sister, right? Sometimes we get so tired. And I will say this, I was in the dating streets of Atlanta for a long time. And I made a lot. I was just like, this ain't working. So I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna be single. I'm good. I got my career, I got my girlfriends, I got stuff I like to do. But I would take like you, like I'm tired of being this and tired of that. And then when a new guy would show up, I would have all these things that I'm not gonna do and all this stuff from my past, and he would kind of get charged with that because I would just be so sick of the BS, right? The times the guys are like, "What are you doing?" and they don't actually come forward with plans for a date. I'm like, I just got to where my patience was that thin. But when your patience is that thin, sometimes a new guy is totally has no idea what you've been through, right? Or he doesn't, and he's not trying to hurt you. But because we're so used to being disappointed, we carry that with us. And I would just say, because you said, I didn't want to feel rejected, that lets me know that a little bit of your experience, a little bit of your judgment was based in the fear of what has happened in the past. Is that fair?
yes, I agree completely with you. I put myself in his shoes for a minute,
Yeah.
but again, like I told you, I always do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was my actual first time doing it, and that's why I cried. I
Yeah.
never like to hurt anybody's feelings. I
Yeah.
try to always, have a level playing field and be fair. So it
Yeah.
hurt my feelings to really stand on what I said.
Yeah.
And even at the bowling date, I didn't drag it out how they were playing.
Wanted you
I
to.
was cracking jokes in between. That's why he was looking like that, because the whole group, it was a moment where chimed in
Mhm.
and Zadia chimed in and
Okay.
kind of let him understand. Cam let him understand from a guy perspective, and
Hmm.
Zadia let him know from a female perspective. Like, nobody's trying to jump on you, but bro, we are in this situation where you kind of have to talk to the women. You
Yeah.
can't just wait on her to do everything.
Right.
And so, like, we all understood and finished the game and laughed. We actually lost. Dunn had to do 10 push-ups. He couldn't finish them. Well, he had to do 40. So he did 30 and I did his last 10. Like, and y'all
Okay,
didn't
now
see
that's
none of
not a
that.
good
But like, it
sign.
was a great date. And it was a lot of good back and forth where he understood where I was coming from. But
Yeah.
I just had to put my foot down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that could be good just for you to do for yourself, right? That could be a good experience for you to do for yourself. But like I
Yeah.
said, I'm just literally saying, like, big sister or little sister, don't try not to take what you're tired of and apply it,
I
because
try my best not to,
yeah,
but I'm a work on that. I
but
promise
yeah,
you,
but
I
it's
am.
but it's but it's okay, because for this situation, it probably is good for you to experience sticking by your word for yourself, right? So okay, so Donald is gone. We moved on to, is it Kirsten? Is it Kirsten?
Hmm.
Okay, that's, I'm not used to hearing guys named Kirsten. Okay.
Me neither. It was hard because I wanted to call him Kirsten the whole time.
I was like, is his name? We were doing the recap, and I was like, is that what it is? Because that's just not a name I've heard. Very attractive guy. Both of them very attractive, very different.
Yes.
What is your, because you got hooked up with him. Tamika set that up.
Hmm.
So what are you thinking when you first see him? What is that first initial chemistry vibe like?
Clearly on network feels like I have a type. Tall, bald headed, you know. They just keep sending me these bowling balls and I'm gonna keep on going up and use. Okay. But honey, I love a tall glass of water because a girl is always thirsty. So, I was happy to finally see someone handsome that sat with some confidence.
Yeah.
I could see it from his back. I know a man when I see a man. And I was
Uh oh. Okay, hold on. We can't hear you. 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 Yeah. May have to go out and come back. You may have to go out and come back if the phone rang, you may have to go out and come back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay,
Good.
cool.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
Super good looking. I could see his confidence when I walked through the room. The way the neck was all rigid. I said, "Oh, look at this. Let me get around here and see what this be like." And instantly, the way y'all see it, the conversation did not start like that with me saying,
okay.
"Oh, you so handsome." Let
Yeah.
me break down why I give men flowers. I have
Okay.
6 brothers.
Okay.
And I tell them how handsome they are, how much I love them every chance I get.
I love
I
that.
believe in giving a man their flowers. I don't care what some women may think of me for doing that. It's nothing wrong with doting on a man.
That's not.
We're so used to them giving us flowers and buying us gifts and trips and oh baby, what's wrong with returning a favor? And I don't need to know what I already know. I look in the mirror every day. So it's okay if I feel like blessing someone else by sowing seeds into them. And
Yeah.
if you think it's thirsty, well, you can stay with your dry desert throat, and I'm gonna stay over here nice and moist. And I'm gonna make friends, whether I'm with this man or not. I'm not doing that because I'm trying to get him to pick me. It's because this is what I see. And
Mm-hmm.
I want this man to feel like a king when he's in my presence. And it is what it is. I walk in Walmart, dollar store, business office, bar mitzvah, funeral. I don't care where I'm at.
Yeah.
If you look good, you look good. If you put that on, you put that on. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you feel good for the day, and I'm gonna go on about my business. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want nothing. It was no malicious intentions. I ain't trying to knock nobody's boots. I ain't trying to do none of that. All I was doing was giving a little flowers because it was sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't put the platter right there so y'all ain't gonna want me to eat it. Like who go to the family place and don't eat the food? Like what am I? But I believe in giving flowers.
Yeah.
That's just me with women and or men. So if it's new, welcome to my world. I'm gonna keep doing it, and you're gonna keep seeing it, and
I,
hopefully I can influence you all to start doing it to your mate. And I look, how you get them is how you keep them.
that's true. I think that I've heard men say they appreciate that, and they're always thrown off because women don't do it. Most women are so used to receiving, wanting, that they really do appreciate that. And I do it with my husband all the time, because I'm with him because I think he's fine. Like,
Come
I'm
on,
saying, like, I'm gonna
what's
let him
wrong
know.
with that?
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. And I can say I have a lot of guy friends, and they've all said that they appreciate when a woman compliments them. Now, because it doesn't happen very often. When you do, they probably be thrown off and then be like, "Oh, let me get," you have to like, hold on now. I ain't trying to take you home. I had just said you look good. Like, back up, though. Like, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And you could tell it automatically makes them blush, and then they you kind of get the little upper hand, and you go on. You go on from there. So, what was it about? Because you guys seem to have a really good conversation, especially on the first date. What was it about that his conversation that made you consider wanting to keep him around?
The fact that he was himself. His accent changed. He threw off the. At first, we were talking about, oh, I write books, you write books. See, y'all didn't see the boring part
Okay.
about writing books and working with the kids and all that kind of stuff. So, once we broke the layers down, it was like, what's your favorite movie? What's this? That's who I need to sit on the couch with.
Mm-hmm.
A person who likes and who acts like me. We
Mm-hmm.
come into the family reunion, everybody gonna be cheese as soon as we get out the car because it's party time. So I love a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine myself if I were out anywhere else and I walked up, that would be the type of conversation I would want to start. Like that interests me to do it again. I want to definitely see where that led. So
Okay.
yeah, I was like, okay, this seems fun. It seems safe. It seems really natural. And he's not nervous. It wasn't overly confident. It was just the right amount of confidence. And he knew how to take control of a situation where
Okay.
I wasn't always leading and leading. Like, so it felt good.
That feels good. Feels like a man is in the building. Feels like,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. So let's, of course, the question that a lot of people want to know, what happened on the date? Because it seemed like it felt like out of all your castmates, you had great rapport with just being a great icebreaker. Of course, we do see it very, over the top, but still, it seems like you're just a fun person. And the guys, what a lot of women don't understand is nobody wants to be given a resume, asked to, share their resume on a first date. That ain't even the time for that. Like you just want to relax, have fun, make jokes, have fun. So I
Yes.
love the fact that you were having fun. It seemed like some of the other dates were like, so what do you do? So what is this? So what about your past? So what about it's just like, girl, it's not time for that shit. But you were doing it in a way that felt very natural and it felt like you could build a friendship, right?
That's all I
So
want.
that's why we were like, what happened when you asked him about the situation about dating Zadia? How did that happen? And what?
Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it all the way funky. Our date was going great.
Okay.
Production asked me,
Ah,
Ash,
damn it, man.
we need you to ask about what's going on with the Zadia situation. And I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I should ask though, just to kind of see where his head is, because this week Zadia and I both went on a date with you, and
Mm-hmm.
then Bernicia and Sharice went on a date with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Zadia and I had already spoke about it at home. Because when I walked in the house, I'm let me tell you about my day. So I'm in the house yelling and talking like, girl, y'all come here, I got tea. And they're like, dang, so you really had fun. Is this what was his name? I'm like, Kirsten. She was like, I went on a date with Kirsten. He was
Mm-hmm.
taken back. Da, 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 da. So we were just being girls sharing stories. And I'm like, she's like, sis, it's up to you, whatever you want. I don't know if I'm feeling it. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, let me just test the waters because I can't choose for him. He has to choose. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So I wanted him to feel comfortable enough to know that, listen, I'm living with her. We already know we both went on a date. We think you're a nice guy. Who are you thinking? But
Okay.
to get it's almost like he got a little offended. It wasn't that I'm not in the moment, sir, but understand what this moment is.
Mm-hmm.
You are a blind date. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't choose you. You're not chosen by anybody. We're trying to decide which ship you finna land on, or are you going home?
Mm-hmm.
Them are the options. Like, all I was doing was trying to get a little clarity. So that's why I did it, trying to jokingly say it instead of, so what's up? Are you choosing me or you choosing Zadia? I'm like,
Yeah, that's what.
so you went on a date with Zadia. How was that? You were better. Don't even try to throw my sis under the bus when I'm watching
Mm-hmm.
you taking all in and needing a minute. Because the beauty is very striking.
Yeah, but he did. At least from what we saw, it seemed like he had a better time with you.
But see, he didn't know that I had already talked to her about it. So it
Okay.
was almost like, well, don't talk to me about nothing because don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I have to worry about it, sweetheart, because this is my process.
Mm-hmm.
So like in real life, I wouldn't care. But again, people, everybody watching, I know I probably made y'all mad with that. I apologize. But it is a dating process where I am getting a new blind date potentially tomorrow.
Yeah.
So why would I sit here and choose someone who don't know where he want to be? I mean, you only got two options.
How would they know so fast? They're not gonna really know.
I mean, you know if you want to go on another date, not choosing the person to be with, but like,
Yeah.
hey, I think I want to see, I want to go on one more date. I feel like we didn't get enough clarity. Or,
Yeah.
Ashley was fun. I want to try it. I want to go on another date with her because it was fun. You got
Yeah.
to give me something to work with, bro, because I'm the one on a time schedule.
Yeah. I
He's
feel
not
it
like a
feels
lot of
like
people aren't understanding that
yeah.
they're this is not ready to love. This is so
It feels
different
like
from ready to love.
it feels like this process is taking you so far out of your natural that you're not able to actually act like Ashlee.
You can't really get to know
Yeah.
people off of a quick blind date and then choosing someone else. Then choose. It's like as soon as you get comfortable with one person, you're meeting someone completely new.
Yeah.
So I'm back to surface level stuff. I can't
It
get
seems like
serious,
the guys have to have like a script to know what to say or they're
and
gonna
they don't even know what to say because
they
they're
don't
just
know what to
going on
say.
a blind darn date. And they think they got all the time in the world. So
That's
it's
why.
just like if you have a lasting impression on somebody, stick with that. And so that's why Donald had that cute little lasting impression where I wanted to see him again.
Mhm.
Kirsten, he had something to where I wanted to see him again. So we'll see.
We will see. Okay, so let's take a pivot and talk about the relationship with the ladies in the house.
I
All
love
right.
him.
So you were good. You you have been good with everybody. There has been some friction between Zadia and Sharice, which is crazy because even really until this past week, it was funny because I do the recaps on the show, and I feel like the way you show up one place is the way you show up every place. So you and Vernisha are having very easy dates, bubbly, everything is fine. Sharice and Zadia are more like kind of in your face and more direct, and it's more about like is it, and they're the ones that are having the issues in the house. So I really feel like dating is really an example of how real life is in all your relationships. It's not one way.
Mm-hmm.
What because we know that production does a lot, but with the situation with Zadia and Sharice, do you think that the whole situation with Zadia calling, did she call and you were asleep and you couldn't
Mm-hmm.
wake her up? Okay, so you couldn't wake her. So then she
I
had to
dropped the ball. I fell asleep. I was dancing so hard the night before. Me and Venetia, we turned the kitchen into the club, and we were having a good old fashioned time. Too
yeah.
legit to quit, okay? And girl, I tried to stay up. Me and Venetia did. I walked upstairs before I knew it. I was knocked out. Zadia called me 2 or 3 times. She called Venetia 2 or 3 times. We didn't even hear our cell phones. I'm still kicking myself to today for that. Because it never would have happened if I would have walked my butt downstairs and opened the door.
So did you guys know that Sharice did not want to be involved in opening the door? You didn't
We
know.
didn't know any of that.
You didn't know
No,
it was gonna
ma'am.
be that big of a deal.
No.
Okay.
Like we all were having so much fun together. We didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
Because everyone, we're so respectful of one another's
Mm.
space. We would have respected that from the gate.
Yeah.
Everyone was very mannerable and very, very just open and honest. And
Yeah.
Zadia made it her business to ask everybody. Like we ask before anything happens. We don't take things without asking. Like
Mhm.
everybody was very, very respectful. So
Okay.
we really didn't know.
Okay. And did you have an issue if somebody had a guy in the house?
No. I
Okay.
feel like everybody grown, hold their own.
Yeah. Um some of the people, I guess it was mixed people on social. Some people said yes. Some people said, you don't know the people. It could be dangerous in the house. But I do think it was great for Zadi to just say, okay, I won't even do that if one person's uncomfortable. Do you feel like Sharice blew it out of proportion? Did you understand where she was coming from, or you think it was just over the top?
No comment.
Okay, all right.
Just know that nothing ever initially even happened. And it was only a suggestion, and Zadia ended it from the suggestion.
Okay,
Nothing ever happened.
okay,
Um, so it was a lot of I'm still confused on
yeah.
what the issue is.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah.
hopefully, this last episode, we saw the two of them come to some type of peace, even if both of them are still kind of looking at each other with the side eye.
I love them both, and we all have strong personalities,
Yeah.
and it's just everybody is different, and it is what it is. Like
Let me ask you
everybody's
this.
different.
Let me ask you this, because one of the things that I like about having girlfriends, and I feel like you are a girl's girl, but one of the things about having girlfriends, when you talk to your girlfriends about your situation, a lot of times they can see what you can't see, and you can see what they can't see. Are up until now, we're just talking about episodes 1 through 4. Are there any situations that you're like, man, I can see that he was a good, or I can see he was on that BS? Like anything that you could see that maybe your castmates, that your girls couldn't see, that you and the other girls could see for those days.
Yes. Especially now watching it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna put you in a bad situation, but I'm just gonna
Don't you do it, Crystal.
I'm not. I'm just gonna tell you what I think, and I will tell her because I love Sharice. I love all of you guys. Of course, you because you're here in Atlanta, and we have a sister in common.
Yes,
But
we do.
but Maurice has to go. Ashlee.
Yeah, you know I love some Mr. Maurice.
Maurice. The fact that you called Maurice has got to go with his Louis Vuitton. He got to go with with his good. He got to go. He got to go. He got to go.
Ooh,
No,
child.
but I will tell Sharice this, like I said, because I really feel like this show helps us all see ourselves, right? And I know she's a little bit older than you, so sometimes we can get so where we've been hurt before, and we do have a wall up, and I feel like she has that wall up, but sometimes the wall can make us see things skewered, right? So sometimes you're looking for something that ain't really what you need. And I just really want Maurice to go home. I really want. And I'll just leave it like that. I'll just talk to Sharice about it, but I'll just leave it like that. I'm ready for Maurice to take his designer labels and his all black and exit stage right.
The fact that you noticed the designer, I'm hollering.
Girl, all of that, because he brings it to our attention. He's into it. Like he's into it. And to me, my mom always told me if a man is too much into himself, he's not gonna be into you. So I'm just saying. Just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, so back to you. Back to you. Back to you, Ashlee.
Yes.
We're early. It's still early in the process. Still early in the process. We are rooting for you. Like I told you guys, we're rooting for you. Seriously, all of our audience, you are probably the one that people love. People were a little concerned about the question about Zadia, but as Shay was here on Friday, and she was like, I bet production told her to ask that question. So, and that's not something that you would do in a regular situation. So we'll have to have you come back later in the season to talk about
Oh yeah.
how
It's
this
about to
goes.
get
Well, we can't wait. We can't wait. I'm talking to Tamika on Friday, so we cannot wait.
Woo!
Let me ask you this. Because having a matchmaker has got to be different. I think it's good because, like I told you guys when we did the own IG, I love the fact that there's a woman there to be like a big sister. Because Tommy is great, but he really is like, he's not really into the girls because a man can't really tell a woman because, we'll be like, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
So what benefits have you seen thus far with having Tamika as your, like, as the person that you can consult and kind of confide in, and even what has helped you with having your sisters there as well?
Um, Again, having Tamika there had it was such a big influence on everything. For one, I like a woman that talks the talk and walks the walk. The fact that you've been married over 18 years, I
Hey,
can listen to what you're saying.
absolutely.
You have a healthy relationship. You're a mother. You're juggling your career. Your personality is still big, and you get to do you every day, and all of this, and you have the life that I desire. So I feel like the company you keep should reflect you. So the fact that I had the reflection that I want right here in front of me,
Yeah.
I was not only blessed, but I felt much more vulnerable and much more in a space where I could be open.
Yeah.
And I'm always about leading by example. I don't care about me crying ugly and y'all screenshotting that shit because I know you look ugly when you cry too, bitch. So whatever, like it is what it is. But one thing about it, every moment where I was vulnerable, Tamika was right there with some of the best advice. And it wasn't that I ever felt insecure or not good enough. It's just I second guess everything.
Yeah.
And I never really just stand on stuff. I do things to make everybody else happy. And
Mm-hmm.
she was really big this season with my healing as far as choosing Ashlee, following your gut, knowing that what you say is golden, and being you unapologetically.
Yeah.
And I love her for that. And as far as the men, she listened to my types and
Mm-hmm.
what I wanted, and she brought me who was good for me, and she brought me people that I probably would have never crossed paths with.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting to have that, and it was a blessing to have her. And we all fell in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
Now my girls, I love when I can relate.
Yeah.
We've all been through the Ready to Love experience, been through the internet, the ups, the downs, the relationships, successful and failed.
Mm-hmm.
We've been there and done that. So to be around a gang of sisters that all did it, I'm all about Black girl magic. I'm all
Yeah.
about pushing each other forward and helping and collaborating. It just felt good to be around people that were real, people
Yeah.
like me. Even though my personality is a lot, they are a lot too. Y'all just don't get to see
They just
it.
not showing us that part of them.
Baby,
Yeah.
Renisha's like my big sister slash mama, and she gonna make me stand on whatever she tell me.
Yeah.
Ash, stand on that. If we saying this is what you gonna do.
Yeah.
Zadia has wordplay for days. She's giving me bougie boss. Don't play with her, and she has all her receipts.
Yeah.
Sharice is put my shades on, walk in the room like ain't nobody else there. Give me queen energy. So like they all are like my Power Rangers, and so when I get with them and we unite, it's just we can't be stopped.
Uh,
And I hate the way the camera may show us sometimes, y'all. But they are amazing women, and I am forever grateful to have met each and every one of them.
yeah, I love that. All right, I got to ask you one last question because one of the things that was internet conversation, we actually had a conversation about it on this channel. I had hit you, but it was too late for you to join. But and I was actually scheduled to have this conversation before your show, before Make a Move even came on, because every time girls come on, yep, ladies, not girls, but ladies come on the show after Ready to Love, the guys always are like, oh my gosh, because usually people have less makeup on when they come on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even myself, I've heard guys say, you look so much better without all the makeup on. You look so much better without the makeup. And I was like, I wonder what, because at first I'd still wear my makeup. My husband was like, I thought he liked it until I was sitting down. He was like, I don't really like, I don't really like it. And I was
Okay.
like wondering, like, do what is your perspective on that? Because the conversation that you and Kirsten had about the nails, first of all, did it offend you? And have
Mm-mm.
you heard it from other people? What do you think about that whole idea
I
that
love educating people. My nails have been around since the 17th century, baby.
yes, they have.
In the 1920s, they are all about queens, people with money,
Mhm.
people with high standards, people of class have always had these. These been
Okay.
around before me. Go look at your mama's pictures in the 90s and the 80s, and I bet she got 12 rings on one finger and some long red or brown, purple nails. This is me, and I'm a queen, and I don't have to get off of my throne for anyone. The
Hmm.
same thing goes for guys that shave their heads. Why you got your beard? This why?
Yeah.
Because I want to.
Okay.
It didn't stop my degrees. It didn't stop me from being president of nonprofits. It didn't stop me from being a two-time author, self-published. It
Mm.
didn't stop me from obtaining my speech pathology and audiology degree at Tennessee State University. Didn't stop me from working with Chamber of Commerce and working on political campaigns.
Hmm.
None of this has stopped me.
Right.
I go to all type of meetings. I speak at schools. I do philanthropy work. This has not stopped me.
Right.
I have always had nails, but me being a speech therapist,
Hmm.
I will use my nails and my eyelashes with my students to keep my special needs students' attention. So they will be playing with my nails while we're doing therapy or pulling my eyelashes off. And I got a whole purse full of them to get on for the next round of therapy. Like I'm animated, and it is what it is. I'm the Beyonce of speech therapy, and I made it my business with my fingernails.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not changing it. And you can't unwrite history. It is what it is. It's been around before me, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be here when I leave.
All right. Well, I'm not mad at that. And you could, and the right man will have no problem with it. But
And they feel good.
I do. I do want to make sure because a lot of times men. Someone said, Darika said, men think women do everything for them. That is true. But then there's some men that say women do stuff for each other, and I'm like, no, I don't know any woman that gets dressed for other women. I
I
don't.
get dressed for me.
I know that's right. I don't know any woman that does that. I think we do want to be attractive to men, but I
That's
think
it.
at the core of it, you know that you're absolutely beautiful without, and you know that you're beautiful with. So it's no. Now there's some women that don't know that. There's some women that won't be seen without the makeup and all that good stuff. But I wanted to make sure that we clarify. Ashlee doesn't have a sense of anything. She knows she's beautiful. She just likes to add a little flavor
I
to
like
it.
the way this sounds.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been so much
Thank you,
fun.
Krista. I love you, girl.
I love
I'm
you
gonna support you no matter what. I'm gonna come back because I need to clear some stuff up in a few
come
weeks.
on back and clear it up. Ashlee, what advice? I love the fact that you gave advice to women because I agree 100% about not being afraid to compliment a man. I think that's and when you talk about it from your brothers. I have a son and I know that men are the same. Men have feelings just like women. A lot of times women don't feel like men have feelings, but that's also why a
Just
lot of women are always by themselves because they don't understand how to make somebody else feel good just like you want them to make you feel good. So I love that. Any other advice that you would give to women that are dating based on what you've learned from this experience so far?
um again, sis, trust your gut, brother. Trust your gut.
Yeah,
Um, and be yourself. And if they don't like who you are, leave them.
I love it. And if you don't learn to love you, you should leave him. In the words of Tupac, we're going to end it with that. Ashlee, again,
Period.
we're going to be watching on Friday, girl. Every
Thank you.
Every Friday on All Ready to Love, make a
Yes.
move. Congratulations, sis. We
Thank
are
you so
really
much, sis.
getting
I
it. I can't
appreciate
wait
it.
to have you come back to talk next time, okay?
I'll be back.
All right. All right. Good night, babe.
Good night. Bye, y'all.
Bye. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Great conversation with Ashlee. And we will be back. Mo and I will be back on Friday with another recap. But before that, I have a conversation with the film director and producer of a new documentary based on Kevin Samuel's legacy. Oh my God. We definitely need to make sure. Please tune in for this conversation. It's going to be Thursday at 8 o'clock. And we're going to talk about Kevin Samuel's legacy. Did he do more harm than good to our community? Were there some things that he was saying that we need to pay attention to? It kind of goes in with that whole conversation that I had last week with Aaron. And even some of the things that we get into on Ready to Love. Like, are there things that were good? Was it all negative? Was it all something that was done to divide? I can't wait to have this conversation. And hopefully you guys will tune in and get in the comments and let me know your thoughts. We can get some questions for you from the director. But the whole documentary is about to premiere. Red pill, blue pill. We know there's so many voices in this manosphere that were inspired by Kevin Samuels. A lot of us have very strong a lot of us have very strong opinions about his narrative, but I think it's a worthwhile conversation. So I hope that you guys will tune in for that on Thursday. More coming. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so that you will get all the information. So far, I see one like, which makes me feel some kind of way. You guys, please like this conversation on your way out, and I will see you right back here Thursday at 8 p.m. Have a great one. Bye bye.